You know that feeling, right? When your whole day just feels like an endless loop of copy, paste, moving data between a million different apps. It's that digital busy work that just completely drains your energy. But what if? What if you could teach your apps to talk to each other and just handle all that stuff automatically? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into.
I mean, really think about it for a second. How much of your day is just moving information around? A new lead comes in from a form. You have to manually type it into your CRM. A customer sends an email. You copy it over to your project board. A sale comes through. You update a spreadsheet. It's like you're the only person working on a giant, clunky digital assembly line. And look, it's not just boring. It's a huge time sink. And it's a recipe for mistakes. Come on, we've all done it. A tiny typo in an email address, a number in the wrong column, and suddenly you've got a real problem on your hands. But the good news is, there is a much, much better way to work.
And that better way is called workflow automation. The idea is actually super simple. You basically create a little digital assistant that connects all your different software tools. You tell it the rules one time, and then it takes care of all that repetitive junk for you, perfectly every single time without you ever lifting a finger. It's the bridge that finally lets all your apps work together like a real team.
Okay, so there are a bunch of tools out there that can build these bridges for you. But today we're going to focus on one that is seriously powerful and super flexible. It's called n8n. Let's dive into why this one really stands out from the rest of the pack. So at its heart, n8n is what's called a low-code tool. And that's just a fancy way of saying you don't need to be some kind of coding genius to use it. The real magic is its node-based system. Just picture a digital flowchart. You're literally just connecting different blocks together visually, and each block does one specific thing. It's actually incredibly intuitive once you see it. So how does it actually stack up against the big names you've probably heard of? Well, while some platforms might have more pre-built connections out of the box, n9's real superpower is its flexibility. You can inject your own custom code, and here's the big one. You can host it yourself. And that leads to a huge difference maker, the cost. The free, self-hosted option is an absolute game changer. So let's just boil it down. The bottom line is this. You choose n8n when you need real power and real control. You get insane flexibility to build custom solutions. It's way more cost-effective as you scale. And this is huge, because you can self-host, you have total ownership and privacy over your data. For a lot of businesses, that's a massive, massive deal. All right, so I've been saying this node-based thing a bunch, but what does that actually mean? Like, what does it look like when you're building? Let's break down the actual building blocks of every single workflow. Honestly, the best way to think of nodes is like digital Lego bricks. Seriously, each Lego has one job. You might have one brick that's get new rows for my Google Sheet, and another brick that's send a message in Slack. You just snap these bricks together, one after the other, to build your automation. It's that simple. Okay, let's make this real. Picture this simple workflow. It all kicks off with a trigger node. Let's say someone fills out a form on your website. Boom, that's the trigger. The data then flows to the next node, which might transform it a little bit. Like maybe it capitalizes the person's name to make sure it's nice and clean. And finally, that clean data hits an action node, which zaps it over and adds it as a new row in a Google Sheet. Trigger, transform, action. See, it's just a logical flow. So you might be wondering, how does the data actually move between these Lego bricks? Well, it gets passed along in a universal language called JSON. Now, don't let that name scare you. You do not need to be a coder. Just think of it like a perfectly organized little digital package. It makes sure every piece of info gets exactly where it needs to go in a way that any app can instantly understand. And here is the really cool part. You can easily reach into that digital package and pull out the exact little piece of data you need. Using a simple expression, you can tell n8n, hey, out of all that stuff that just came from the form, I only want to use the customer's name for this next step. It's so precise, and it gives you complete control over your data. All right, now that we've got the fundamentals down, it's time to take things to a whole other level. This, my friends, is where automation gets really exciting. We're going to supercharge these workflows by giving them a brain, artificial intelligence. So what the heck is an AI agent? Well, it's basically a piece of software that you give a goal to. Instead of giving it step-by-step instructions, you just tell it what you want to achieve, and it uses an AI model like GPT to figure out the best way to do it. It's not just following a script anymore, it's actually making decisions. So what does this actually look like? Well, imagine you have to read a 50-page report just to pull out the key points. That could take hours, right? Now, imagine feeding that same report to an AI agent in your workflow and getting a perfect summary of the key insights back in about 5 seconds. The jump in productivity it's absolutely massive.
And the possibilities here are just about endless. You could build AI agents that answer customer support tickets for you, act as a personal assistant that organizes your calendar, or even generate first drafts for your blog posts and social media. You could even have it analyze your weekly sales data and write the report for you. Just imagine never having to write that weekly report again. Okay, feeling inspired? Feeling ready to get rid of some of that busy work? Awesome. Let's talk about the actual, practical first steps to get you started on your own automation journey with n8n.
You've basically got two main ways to go. First, there's n8n Cloud. This is by far the easiest way to get started. Their team handles all the technical stuff. You just sign up and start building. Easy. Or if you're a bit more technical where you absolutely need full control over your data, you can self-host it on your own server for free. So it really just boils down to a simple choice. Do you want convenience or do you want control?
So, there you have it. That's our tour of 8n. We've seen how it can rescue you from that soul-crushing manual work, how you can build really powerful automations with simple little nodes, and how you can supercharge the whole thing with AI. So now, the only real question left is, what's the very first repetitive task you're going to automate away forever?